All right, so the piece of media that I thought to use for this assignment is the live action version of The Jungle Book, the Disney remake. Disney, as most people know, is starting to remake all of their old classics into live action versions. Even though things like The Lion King are actually not a live action remake because it's still CGI, but just a more realistic look to all their classic films. The reason I chose this particularly Jungle Book out of those remakes that they've made is because for me, I know that that kind of represents who I am as a filmmaker and who I am kind of mentally, because I'm mature enough to know that I have some pretty good original ideas, but I'm really naturally gifted at taking someone's idea and kind of making it better, plussing it to a new level. One of my first jobs that I had was as like kind of the creative person, basically, for a children's ministry. And one of the creative people on the team had written a script for a production that we were going to do for the Christmas time production thing for them. And the head person at the company gave me a copy of the script that they had submitted as like the script they were going to use for the production. And I took the script and went and said, "Can I be bluntly honest with you?" And he was, "Yeah, sure." And I just said kind of straight out that this is not the best script that it could be. Do you mind if I take, my stab at it and kind of tweak some things, keep the general thing the same, but just kind of change some things that I would change, since I was going to school for, or wanted to go to school for that. And he said, sure. So I went and rewrote a bunch of stuff. And after it came back, he was super impressed. Everyone, even the one who originally wrote it, which I felt was going to be kind of awkward, but even he was like, "Wow, this is amazing. I can't believe what you were able to take with my idea and just totally make it so much, bigger." Excuse me, so much bigger and better than what it originally was. And so that's what I kind of think whenever looking at some of the live-action remakes of all the classic Disney animated films that they're remaking. For me personally, I know that I'm naturally very gifted at being able to take someone's original idea and making it something more than what it is. Some of the live action remakes, like The Lion King, to me are not anything close to what they could have been. They have taken a lot of creative liberty with the story and everything on some of the remakes. They, added some stuff to Beauty and the Beast. They totally took Alice in Wonderland in a new direction. But The Jungle Book to me was the one where they really nailed it perfectly. There was enough of the original story. They added some more storyline to it, made it such a much better story, and visually, obviously, it was amazing. But what they did with that film was just great, and I know that that's what I'm kind of naturally gifted at, is taking an original idea and making it something more than what it already was. Now I know, like with The Lion King, I know that already got mixed reviews anyway from people. My biggest complaint with that was that they didn't really take any creative freedom with the story. It was almost a shot-for-shot remake of the original, which made it to where at that point you only compare the two, and the original animated one is so much better. So whereas with like Aladdin or The Jungle Book, they took so much creative freedom and added so much to it and just made it, such enough of a different film that you can watch it without just strictly comparing it to the original. And it was great. I thought it was done really well, and that to me is what kind of stands out as something that does represent me in recent pop culture anyway, as some of the remakes that Disney's been doing. Just because for me, I feel like that's what I'm naturally gifted at. So that was my choice for the assignment.